Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern. All hell broke loose. Good times. Good times. I wonder if they'll remember me.
I have to stop these disappearances. My career is at stake. Bellwether, I need those reports.
Let it be known henceforth to each and every subject here and everywhere that, in the absence of our beloved Alexander, Bishop Divine, slain with malice and injustice by foul sorcerers, as were let fly by the perfidious lizards of the ancient empire, with the aid and abettancy of the treacherous dwarven kingdom, the Divine Order of Lucian is now led by his son's most trusted intimate and advisor, Dallis, Hammer of the Divine, Savior of the Sorcerers, and new Deliverer of the peoples of Rivellion. The Hammer shall take counsel from her most trusted advisors. Hail to the Hammer, 7 times blessed.
They're blaming the ancient empire for Alexander's supposed death. The classic ruse of misdirection and rabble-rousing the House of War is quite familiar.
Indeed, it seems your ancient empire must learn some new tricks.
Help us, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Magister Regional Headquarters and Jail, Driftwood.
Belson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Right away.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want, lizard? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Manchesters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need any more distractions. Yes, a vile little tinkerer goes by the name of Higba. 3 of my magisters have gone missing of late from right here in Driftwood. All signs are that Higba is responsible. The fiend's greed gave him away. He was peddling items that belonged to those missing from our ranks. He saw my men before they could seize him and fled. Desertions? What do you know about desertions? Well, your speculations are right. We have had some desertions of late. Veterans, disgruntled with the new leadership. But they slip away in the night, taking supplies. Cowards and traitors, all of them. I'm looking for loyal magisters, vanishing in broad daylight. Desertion just doesn't fit. Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my Magisters unawares. It's the only explanation. No matter, he'll face justice either way. If you catch sight of that dog, tell me or my men at once. Understand? There might even be a reward in it for you. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then. Bellwether, I need those reports, damn it.
Right away.
I have to stop these disappearances. My career is at stake.
I'm watching you, stranger. If that's all you have to say, you may as well leave me to it then. Of course, sir. Right away.
Bellwether, I need those reports,
sir.
damn it.
Right away.
Surrounded by incompetence. They deserve a better posting. Nelson, my inkwell is dry.
sir.
Fetch me some more.
Right away.
I have to stop these disappearances. My career is at stake. Bellwether, I need those reports, damn it.
Right away.
Nelson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some
Right
more.
away.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Calm down, Brianna. Carver's got his dossier on the sorcerers. Everything's falling into place. All I need to do is watch.
I have to stop these disappearances. My career is at stake. Nelson, my inkwell is
Of course,
dry.
sir.
Fetch me some more.
Right away.
Bellwether, I need those reports, damn it.
Right away.
Oh, great, a citizen. Can't you see I'm on a break here?
She narrows her eyes and pins you with a bitter stare.
You ever seen a void woken up close? I have. Barely escaped with my life.
She raises her eyebrows, clearly impressed, despite herself.
It's always sorcerers. They get into every nook and cranny and lure those void woken out.
As if anticipating a negative response, she holds up her hands.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure life's no picnic for them either. But I've heard it all before. We've got a whole realm to protect and sorcerers just can't be trusted.
She nods at you curtly and turns away.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Head nodding drowsily, the Magister brings her voluminous sleeve up to her face. She sniffs loudly and suddenly jerks to attention, eyes red-rimmed with zeal, and something else.
They won't take me unawares. I'm ready for anything. See? I haven't stepped in. Well, I'm ready. That's what matters. Vigilance! Why, whoever's snatching Magisters off the street and disappearing them? 6 lost in a week. 6! Need to be ready. Ready! Ready! Ready to protect!
Waving you away, she cranes her neck to scan all around her, jaw clenched and eyes flickering.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Calm down, Brianna. Carver's got his dossier on the sorcerers. Everything's falling into place. All I need to do is watch.
Keep your eyes peeled, will you? Ramos the Wanderer promised he'd be here.
The spirit of a Magister stares dumbly at her translucent hand, the fingers of which have been sheared off.
My ring! Where's my ring?
The spirit pivots her wrist, staring at the fingerless hand, utterly, morbidly entranced.
I should have been more careful. She hacked at my sword hand first. I couldn't defend myself.
The spirit stares, absorbing your question. Finally, she points her fingerless hand towards the kitchen. The spirit looks at you with the smallest flicker of realization.
I was still alive when she started cutting pieces off me. She wanted me to feel it. All of it.
The spirit inclines her head towards the kitchen. The spirit ponders your question and seems to shiver.
Oh, in many places. I feel my body in 100 moving graves, warm and wet.
You've got enough money. I'm telling you, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to escape.
Hey, Rudy, Lola, you won't with the Magister's caging anyone up.
You've got enough money. Damn right. Killed by sorcerers, a most vile incident.
Pretty good, ain't he? Bet he'd even write a poem for you if you sidled up all nice like.
All hope destroyed. You have interrupted my newest masterpiece.
The bard clears his throat and gargles on his own saliva. He then returns to his poem, but his voice cracks mid-verse.
Well, never you mind. Every sonnet I compose is a masterpiece, and my muse has been begging me to write something new. Wait! You might be just the stimulus I needed. I shall craft a rhyme for you and your race. All I ask in return is a handful of coins. It's an offer of a lifetime. Normally I'd argue with you, but you do have a certain look about you. Very well. But if I am to write a first-rate work, you must face some difficult questions. Are you
He stares at you for a few torturing moments.
Your eyes betray the guilt of the human race. You believe it your right to ravage Rivellion. What say you?
He smiles a crooked smile and runs a hand through his greasy hair.
Ah, arrogance! That most peculiar of human traits, given your lack of cultural accomplishment, save the towers you erect in worship of greed. What riches do you seek, human? Indeed. You seem almost fearless in your conviction. But I know better. Stripped of their swords and shields, humans are as fragile as flower petals. Admit your cowardice.
The bard hems and haws, then bellows his next words to anyone who might hear.
To all lovers of verse, I bring glorious news. I have completed another modern classic. Listen, the war drums keep the rhythm of patrol. Humankind establishes control.
Get you
Sound the
something,
horn
friend.
and shout the battle cry. 'Tis through their might that peace may multiply. Of silver, gold, and diamonds now disposed.
He fixes you with a stare, looks you up and down, weighs you up, the cut of your cloth, the weight of your bag. A moment passes. Then a smile creases his face, a smile carefully constructed to look friendly and authentic, a smile that doesn't reach his eyes.
Greetings, stranger. Looking to ease the pain of a decaying world? You're in the right place. Beers are ordered at the bar, but can I interest you in a nourishing bowl of stew?
He purses his lips. His fingers drum a pattern on his elbow as he assesses you.
I'm sorry, I mistook you for a different kind of person. My mistake. I shall return to serving me other customers, and I wish you a good, if boring, appetite. don't come back.
The Magister's caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
Damn right. We got a right to live, don't I?
So all travels keep the rhythm of patrol. Humankind establishes control.
He bit you on the arse.
He fixes you with a stare, looks you up and down, weighs you up, the cut of your cloth, the weight of your bag. A moment passes. Then a smile creases his face. A smile carefully...
Greetings, my lord. Looking to ease the pain of a decay...
He purses his lips. His fingers drum a pattern on his elbow as he assesses you. A lascivious smile spreads across his face. His tongue darts from his mouth to lick the spittle from his lips.
Let me ask you this. Across the world, who is renowned above all others for their exquisite love-making abilities? My dear Prince, I'm sure this is true. But I believe one of your kin is even more talented than your good self. And for an insignificantly small sum, I can make the introductions.
He holds out his hand. The money vanishes into his apron.
Now, let me ask you this. What flavour of stew do you prefer? Do you like the strong and meaty variety? Or do you prefer it delicate and fragrant, if you get my meaning? Upstairs, on the second floor. Her name is Zara. Pleasure is her business. Enjoy the experience of a lifetime.
He gives you a mischievous grin, then dips his head in salute and turns away.
Their might, that peace may multiply. Silver, gold, and diamonds now dispose. With friends and lovers, find you true repose. So journey forward and tread the proper trail.
Arguing with Mac is like giving medicine to the dead. He's as stubborn as a corpse and smells the part to boot. No wonder Papa Thrash gives him the stink anytime he tries to go downstairs.
I'm telling you, if they got another sorcerer on the loose, I knew they should have cut off the Meister's head and burned the rest. Gotta make sure it don't grow back.
Hold it. Papa no, you no go.
He grins, unpleasantly.
Loha didn't tell me to let any blushing scale-face in, so why should I? Cute. Sounds something like my 15-year-old daughter would try. No go. But I'll certainly remember your face now.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
This is more like it.
A weathered woman in a dirty sea captain's tunic babbles breathlessly to herself.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn. And I without my compass. The ship is in the locker, on the bottom in the rocky shallows, and all are drowned but me. And yet, can you hear? The bell rings on. The bell haunts me yet, and it would drive me mad.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
You can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
Careful, you know?
A ghostly seaman stares at the captain, his lip curled in a malevolent grin, his eyes wide with hate, and all the time he rings his bell. He registers your presence. His head swivels towards you.
Do you bone sail with her, or are you with us?
Curiosity killed the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
You're willing to risk...
Then you won't sail with her. She ran the ship upon the rocks, although I rang the bell. That light weren't no lighthouse. I rang the bell in warning, and she ran the ship upon the rocks. You ran the ship upon the rocks, Captain, and all the crew were drowned.
The ghost swivels his head back to the sea captain. The bell rings on.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
Curiosity
A weathered woman in a dirty sea captain's tunic babbles breathless.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn. And I without my compass.
One night with a lizard.
You can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away.
But I saw the lighthouse.
And you can't be too
I saw the light.
If I can get
The lookout rang the bell, but I thought that he was wrong. I steered for port, but there was no harbour, and the bell rang on. It rings now still. Please, make it stop.
She buries her head in her hands and cries.
Make it stop.
Hard a port.
Curiosity
Can't you hear the
killed
bells
cat,
are ringing?
or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard.
The ghostly seaman rings his bell, his hate directed at his captain. He turns to you.
Spoke to the lady captain, didn't you? I seen you cozying up. Are you hers, you bag of bones? Or sail you with us? I'm doing my duty here, I am. I'm the lookout and I'm ringing the bell. Rocks ahead, Captain. There's no lighthouse here. Rocks ahead! Ha 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 ha!
His lip curls over his blackened teeth, and with his smile, you know you've lost.
Rocks ahead, Captain! Avast! Hard a port! Ha! Rocks ahead! Do you hear me, Captain? Ha 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 ha! I'm ringing the bell! Turn the ship, for it's too late! Ha 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 ha!
The bell rings on.
The bell still rings. Do you
A
hear?
ghostly seaman stares at the captain, his lip curled in a...
Spoke to the lady captain, didn't you? I'm doing my duty here, I am. I'm the lookout and I'm ringing the bell. Rocks ahead, Captain. But I'm on duty here. There are rocks ahead and the captain must know it.
He blinks once, twice. A single salty tear drips from one ghostly eye. The bell falls silent. He raises a finger to his temple in salute and fades away. She babbles breathlessly on, barely aware you're there, and nearby sounds a ringing bell.
My ears are still a-ringing.
You got that right, Hilka.
And I have you to thank for it? Then thank you, I surely do.
Curiosity killed the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
That accursed bell lies with the peacemaker, on the bottom in the rocky shallows. My compass lies there too.
Joy for one night with a lizard.
Right as rain, Hilka.
Then you're an idiot.
The compass surely lies on the bottom, near where the ship was wrecked. Take it with my blessing. If you can find it. My sailing days are done. Let me mark your chart. But you be warned. Stay off the wreck itself. Let her lie as a monument to her dead crew, and as testament to my mistake.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
She goes white as the proverbial ghost.
You've got no call to go looking for no cargo. Far as anyone's concerned, we sailed with an empty hold, and if there's anything left to salvage, you leave it where it is.
And I'm saying...
Heed me. Leave the cargo of the Peacemaker alone.
She turns away. Conversation over.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot. Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
She stares off into the distance.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot. Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You've
got to pick who you can trust.
For one night with a lizard?
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot. Kills the cat.
You've got to pick who you
gets
can
it sent
trust.
to Fort Joy.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
You're willing to risk
And
Fort
I'm
Joy
saying,
for one
you
night
can
with a
trust
lizard?
me. I can see a sorcerer
Then
from a
you're an
mile
idiot.
away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilga. You got that right.
Curiosity
And I
kills the
think
cat,
you can
or
trust
gets it
me.
sent to
I
Fort
can see a
Joy.
sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? It's a shame, it is.
An absolute shame.
Then you're an idiot.
Alexander, slaughtered like a supper lamb. Poor dear.
It ain't right.
It ain't right. Never thought I'd say this. I hope they round up them sorcerers for good. I ain't needing one sick in a void woken on me.
You said it, Hilga. You're a true patriot.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. What do you want, reptile? See this uniform? That makes me and Tatcha here magisters, not waiters. Get me? Good. Now, tell you what, to make up for your little social blunder, you can help us settle an argument. Tatcha here is one of my dearest friends, but she isn't the brightest.
Tatcha grins hello.
Our mate Boris got posted to Fort Joy for consorting with lizards. And Tatcha here still fancies a turn around the park with Loverick's lizard. I say she'd be sleeping with the enemy. What say you?
They look at you expectantly. Tatcha looks victorious. Eden looks annoyed.
You're as bad as she is. Get lost then, you're no use to me.
Eden turns back to her drink. Tatcha smiles goodbye.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
You can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away.
She tips you a wink, then turns away.
Get Alexander and get
What about that? What is raining?
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to...
Weathered and rugged, the man sleeps soundly. He mumbles in his slumber.
There's bad things in the caves. It's mine. Get off.
He goes back to sleep. The man sleeps on.
Blood and oil do mix, after all. Don't touch it. Don't touch the chest.
He goes back to sleep.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
The man sleeps on.
The island is ruined and doesn't have a name. Don't go there. Leave my stuff alone.
He goes back to sleep. The man sleeps on.
There's no graveyard on the island. Stay away from the graveyard.
Hmm.
It's mine. Get off.
He goes back to sleep. The man sleeps on.
Sawdust and wolves, mother. Sawdust and wolves. As the head said, don't open the chest.
He goes back to sleep.
Curiosity kills the cat.
The man sleeps on.
Arcs for Lucian's Day sounds nice, mother. Don't touch it.
He goes back. The man sleeps on. His eyes flicker open, but he looks like he's still asleep. He goes back to... The man sleeps on.
But
his eyes open, but he doesn't see you.
Get away from my chest.
He goes back to sleep.
You're willing to risk for joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
The man sleeps on.
But mother, I'm sleeping.
He goes back to sleep. The chest won't open. It doesn't open.
Curiosity kills the cat. Forget the sense of Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you got to be careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, then...
As you approach the silken-robed noble, Ifan does a double-take and laughs in recognition. He pulls you to one side.
I know this man, and he's not at all what he seems. A moment.
Ifan bounds forward and embraces the man, all effusive greetings. As they part, talking animatedly, the man's beard slips sideways down his face. He's wearing a disguise. Ifan laughs as he straightens the beard. They chatter away for some time, using a guttural cant you struggle to understand. At one point, the man says something and looks over at you intently. Ifan waves his hand and laughs. The man hunkers down and seems to be sketching a rough map on the floor, using an apple, some playing cards, and a fistful of threads pulled up from the carpet. Ifan claps the man on the back and turns to leave.
Well, now we know the way to the sawmill. And we know Roos thinks I'm bringing you there as part of the Godwoken contract. Hear that? Roosts camped out at the sawmill.
Curiosity kills the cat. Forget the sense of Fort Joy.
What the devil are you staring at?
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard.
He seems less lush somehow.
It's as lush as it's always been. Now train your eyes on my treasures, not my person.
Yes, my lord.
Well now, how's my favorite Godwoken? An old lone wolf colleague of mine in disguise, Callow. He's hunting Godwoken, but don't worry. I didn't poor fellow'd have an attack of the bloody flux if he knew what was really going on. Don't worry. I'm not going to hand you in for the bounty. Sure, you could do the very same to me. I think we should know who hunts us and why. Just play it cool. We go in, we get answers, we leave. Nothing more to it than that.
From the glint in his eye and the wicked smile he wears, you can tell he speaks in jest.
All right. It has the potential to get messy. Very messy indeed. But I've got your back if you've got mine.
His eyes glitter as he stands tall to tell the story, hands waving expressively. You can see it's a story he's used to telling, one he enjoys weaving for an audience.
So, underneath the tavern in Driftwood, there's a place I feel right at home. A delightful little hive of scum and villainy. A few months back, I was relaxing down there after a job. Just a hint of Drudenay. You know, a hint. All of a sudden, a tiger prowls in. I jump up, but everyone else is just ignoring it. And then he picks up my scent. His eyes turn blue, and he leaps to pounce on me. A fury of claws and teeth. I flip the table and start scrambling for my crossbow. Nowhere to be found, and by now, the tiger's right on top of my eyeballs. So I do the only thing I can think of. I summon Afrit, my soul wolf. And now everybody reacts. Screaming, scrambling around, pelting for the stairs, drinks flying everywhere. And that pesky tiger? Nowhere to be seen. Turns out it was Drudenay messing with me. Stronger stuff than I'm used to. Also turns out some people don't appreciate spectral wolves tearing up the place. So some people called magisters on me. Well, it's guarded by a grouchy-seeming dwarf named of Papa Thrash. But he's a real sweetheart once you get to know him. I love that password of his. Open minds and closed fists.
Ifan claps you on the shoulder and beams at you, affection for you plain in his eyes.
Here now, when one's in a small town, one must expect small-town manners, I see. Have you a reason for barging into my room, sir? Ah, so it's dear Prudence who's responsible for our confusion. Odd, she's usually as strict as a taxman. Still, no harm done, I suppose. I may as well introduce myself. Baron Levere, at your service. Travels, you say? And why would you assume I'm a traveling man?
He laughs heartily.
Of all things, I wouldn't have thought my boots would give me away, but you're quite right, of course.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka.
Curiosity
You got
kills
that
the
right.
cat, or gets it sent
And
to
I'm
Fort
saying
Joy.
You can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a
You're
mile
willing
away.
to risk Fort Joy for one
And you
night
can't be
with a
too
lizard?
careful, you know? If they
Then
can get
you're an
themselves
idiot.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot. Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
I am traveling, yes, to Arx. Lucian's Day will be upon us soon, a celebration no man with a heart that is both as pious and mercantile as mine should miss. I go because it is every citizen's duty, our communal obligation to chant the rites of the return and pray for Lucian's divine resurrection. That said, I do have more secular motivations as well. Arx positively overflows with pilgrims during the festival, pilgrims and their purses. As a merchant, it is quite my favorite day of the year. Music to my ears. A happy accident after all, you're barging into my room. If there's anything else you need, know you're always welcome.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
You got that right,
You're willing to
Hilka.
risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander or any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot. Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
And I'm saying,
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard.
you can't be too careful.
Then you're an
You
idiot.
think Alexander, any of us?
What about that? What was raining?
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot. Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Of course they are, as good bodyguards should be. I'm a wealthy man, and wealthy men need protection, especially if they accompany their wealth. The merchant's burden, you see. He must escort his merchandise, always.